Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Have you seen them yet? Termites are out and about. The swarmers are in the air. Trouble is, if you see swarmers, it means you probably already have termites. Now, you can kill them or you can prevent them by calling Southeast Termite and Pest Control this week. These folks work at my house. I trust them. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, gentlemen, a little later we're going to talk a lot about Beverly Davenport put out a tweet to tick some people off. And also there's a fan base across the nation who had some comments about the Tennessee fan base on Twitter, which is interesting. We'll talk about all that later. Quickly, though, you got 3 SEC teams in the Elite Eight. Did not see that coming. Kentucky plays North Carolina at around 5-ish. Around 2-ish, you've got Florida and South Carolina going at each other. Very quickly, who do you think Vol fans are going to be pulling for in that one? Because I know you hate Florida, but you know Florida's always going to be good. South Carolina makes a Final Four. Suddenly, are they going to be moving up as a program, not just a one-year deal? Tennessee fans going to be pulling for South Carolina, though, just out of hatred for Florida?
I think they should pull for Florida.
I think they should, too.
Because of what you said. Now, whether they will or not, I don't know. I have trouble figuring out some of the thoughts of the fans. But
I think there's a lot of hate for Florida.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said. I would be pulling for Florida because if South Carolina does get to the Final Four, that can do nothing but give them more exposure. It could help them in recruiting. It could help elevate their program. Look, they're already at a height they've never been before. Now you take them to another height, the Final Four, with Frank Martin over there. You don't want that, I guess, sleeping giant to be awakened, so I'd be pulling for Florida.
And what you're saying, then, you're putting Florida already in the category of Kentucky.
Well, they're ahead of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of all-time Final Fours and national titles, they've catapulted up there.
Yeah, I think Tennessee fans should pull for Florida. I think they'll most likely pull for South Carolina because of the underdog story. And then some of those fans we're going to talk about, I think will pull for South Carolina so Frank Martin can have success.
Hang on. Don't go there. That's coming.
Am I giving away the tease?
A little bit. I'm going to go. 3 SEC teams in the Elite Eight. A lot of guys returning at schools all across the league. Conzo Martin in Missouri just landed the #1 prospect in the country. It doesn't hurt when you hire his daddy as an assistant. It's the old Danny Manning thing. I know you guys were a little higher on Tennessee's basketball chances next year than I am. I think they're on the bubble. I think you guys think they're leaning closer.
I may be the only one leaning that way.
Okay. I think
I'm on the bubble.
I thought you said the inside of the bubble a couple weeks ago. But anyway, does this impact your view of their NCAA tournament chances next year?
Yes, it does. I think it does. I think I was basing Tennessee on, I saw improvement from Barnes' first year to second year. You would see that same improvement next year. But as you pointed out a couple of weeks ago, if everybody else is improving too, do you stay more status quo? So yeah, it does make me think it might be a little bit tougher.
Quickly, does it impact any of your thinking?
Mine's the same because I think they're a bubble team next year. I think the Vols are. And while the competition might be tougher, the SEC, because of this success, maybe it gets a little more credit next year, which will help the overall resume.
And because I think they get more credit, that's why I'm going to stay with Tennessee as an NCAA tournament team.
Mike?
I think South Carolina is the, like you said, the sleeping giant that you don't want them
stepping up,
taking your place there in the pecking order.
Where it could help the SEC is next year you're going to see, due to these wins, everybody's RPI is going to go higher. SEC's RPI is going to go higher. That's going to help you as a whole once you get in there for the selection Sunday. But I had this prepared.
Yeah.
It's Tennessee's luck. The fates really are up there. Frank Martin, he's kind of kicked around at South Carolina for a while. John Curry, you just hired him, your new AD. He's famous, most famous for one thing, splitting with Frank Martin. So as soon, I mean within weeks of you hiring John Curry, the fates somewhere said, you know what would be funny? Let's put him in the Elite Eight. So Frank Martin now to the Elite Eight as soon as you hire the guy who ran him off at Kansas State. That's the reports. They butted heads, whether he ran him off or Martin just left because he wanted to get away from him. I guess that's terminology. But that only Tennessee would have that kind of luck.
And on top of that, Conzo Martin comes back to the SEC, and by golly, the #1 recruit in the country lands right in his lap.
But see, another reason some people might want to pull for South Carolina is that Frank Martin may leave for a better job.
Get him out of there. Get him out of here. All right. When we come back, Jarrett Garantano says Tennessee is soon to be SEC champions. Butch Jones is saying all the right things. Is anybody listening? Come on back.